Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Now in today's video, I want to show you how to make this lovely handbag. Yeah, you can fit in a notebook and you can also fit in your phone and some other small items. And now for today's video, I'm going to be making a very small version of this big bag that is around 9 inches. So the one for demonstration today is going to be a very small one. However, you can always make it longer by increasing the number of chains. And now to begin with, we shall start with a slip knot. And I just twist around the thread to make my slip knot, just like this. And then I'm gonna make a chain of 24, and that is 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7. Guys, you're going to keep on chaining until you have the number of rows that you want. As I said, I'm going to make 24, and then I'll meet you up when I'm done with mine. And here I am already done with my 24 chains. And now for the first row, we are going to be working only in the back loops. Yeah. So you're going to skip one chain, and in the second chain, you're going to make a single crochet. And that is 1, 2, and 3. So you're going to keep working single crochets until you get to the end of the row. So keep doing this. When you come to the end of the row, you just chain 1 and turn. You'll keep working it only in one back loop, in the back loop alone, making single crochets until you have the desired number of rows. Okay, so the number of rows also gives you the width of your bag. Now here I'm done, and I did 16 rows. But guys, you can make as many as you want, remember that. And now we are going to work on the side of the bag here. This is going to be worked in this small base. Okay, so the rows are the front and back of the bag. Now we have to work on the sides. So to work on this base, we are going to begin with a magic circle. And this is how I make mine. In this magic circle, I'll chain 1, and inside I'll make 6 single crochets. That's 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now I'm going to pull this loop and join the 2 sides together. Guys, just like the number of chains, I've made 6 because they're the ones that are going to match the number of rows that I did. So you have to make sure that your base also has the same number of single crochets by the time you're done with it. It has the same number of crochets, just like your number of chains that you started with. Now we have just closed it off with a slip stitch, and in that same space I'm going to make a single crochet. Apparently this hook is not doing good on my side, so that's a single crochet. Now this time around we are not working in the back loop, but in the 2 single crochet space. That's where we are working. Now in the next one I'll make 2 single crochet in the same space, and that's 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm going to keep doing this until the end of the row. So that means I'll be having 12 single crochets by the time I'm done with this row. And now I've come to the end of the row. And here we are. Let me first count to make sure. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Remember, work this in doubles, so that is 12 single crochets. Now I'm going to close off this row with a slip stitch, and on top of the first single crochet is where you make the slip stitch and chain 1. In that same space, make a single crochet. The next one I'll make 1 single crochet, and then in the next space I'll make 2 single crochets, one single crochet in the next space, and 2 single crochets in the next one. Those are 2. So we're going to be following this pattern: 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet in the next space, until we come to the end of the row. I'm now at the end of the row, and I'll close it off with a slip stitch and a chain 1. In the same space I'm going to make a single crochet. This is how our work looks like so far. So I'll make a single crochet in the same slip stitch space, and in the next space I'll make a single crochet, and in the next I'll also make another 1 single crochet, and in the third I'll make 2 single crochets. One single crochet, 1 single crochet, and 2 single crochets. We repeat the same pattern until the end of the row. So it is 2 single crochet, one single crochet until you're done with the whole row. And here we've come to the end of the row. I'm going to close it off, and this is my last one. Okay, so I've done a total of 3 rows, which made it 24 single crochets. Yeah, so that is what I meant when I said that your base, the number of the single crochets on the base should match the number of chains that you did in the beginning. So this base is going to be fitted in these sides of the bag. We are going to join it together. So I'm going to use my hook to join these 2 parts, but you can use a needle if you find it more easier. So you have to make sure that the base is being worked or joined from the outside, so the inside has to be inside, and then the right side on the top. Okay, so the wrong side should be inside, then the right part on the outside. Now in the very first loop, only the last one, I'll put through my hook. So I didn't cut off my yarn because it was long enough, but in case yours is not long enough, you'll cut it off and join with a long one. So only in the last loop of the first part of the bag and the base, I'm only going to be working in back loops alone. So you pass through the hook, and then pull the yarn all through together. That's how we're going to be joining these 2 sides. In the last loop and the first loop of the base. Last loop of the first part and the last loop of the base. Pull through. So you're going to keep doing that until you come to the end. And now here I am on the very last one. So our base had 24 spaces. So this means that the spaces should be matching to each other on both sides of the bag. Now I'm done with my last one. I'll just chain one to close this off. If you wish, you can cut the yarn, but I'm not going to cut mine because I'm going to come back later and use it. So guys, this is how so far the bag looks like. I'm loving how it has turned out. Now we are going to get our other base of the other side and also join it. Now here I'd also not cut my yarn. Don't be confused. I didn't cut my yarn off. So I also used the yarn of this side to join this other part. So the same way we did the other side is the same way we are going to join this one over here. So I'll join this off camera and I'll join you later, guys. So we are following the same trend, only in the back loops of both sides. Remember, it's only in the first loop and the last loop of the base, and pull through to make a slip stitch. That's how we shall be joining these two sides of the bag. So you're going to grab your yarn and pull through. So we are only using slip stitches in 2 loops. Guys, this is simple and easy to make. So here I'm done with the 23 slip stitches. I'm going to make my last one, which is the 24th, in the back loop and in the first loop of the base. Pull through to make a to make a slip stitch and chain 1, because we are at the end of the row, rather the end of the part where we join the 2 sides. So here we're going to work on the top of our bag, and we shall be making single crochets in this part that looks like a ridge in the middle of them. Okay, so here will be 1 single crochet. Okay, here, that's where we'll be working our single crochets. So we already have 1 chain at the beginning. So this was our first row. So in every row we have to make sure we are putting a single crochet. and here we shall put another one. Sorry guys, I'm making slip stitches instead of single crochets. So that's a single crochet, another one on top of the row. So there's that part where it looks like it's curved, and then in the middle there is where you keep working. We are making single crochets all the way. So on top and in the middle. We're going to keep making this until we come to the end of this first row on top of the bag. So in the middle here, I'll put only one single crochet, and then I'll join the other side where we had our one chain. You join it with a slip stitch. So far, this is how the top looks like. It's more intact now that we've made single crochets than when they were not there. So now for the next row, we are going to be using slip stitches. Okay, remember we are joining the end with a slip stitch, and in the back loop alone, we are going to make a slip stitch, and in the next, make a slip stitch again. The next number of rows are going to be worked in slip stitches. So only in the back loop. Keep making slip stitches. Now I've come to the end of the second row. So this is worked in a uniform way. You're just going to keep making slip stitches. Okay. If you need, you can put a marker to mark your beginning, but now I know where I started from, so I don't need a marker. So I'm going to keep making slip stitches until I have 4 rows. So if you want, you can make 3, you can make 5, but don't make so many because if you make too many, it may not look so nice. And now here I am with my 4 rows, and this is how the bag looks like. It's so lovely. I love it. I made this for a client, but trust me, I wanted to keep it myself. And now here you'll just fasten off the yarn, cut it off, yeah, and apply the accessory that you want. You can use chains and also put a cloth inside if you want to.